Look around. Every day, the world is full of people waiting for the right moment, waiting for luck, waiting for permission. But you don't wait. You understand that life isn't about excuses. Excuses are the invisible chains we put on ourselves, the lies we tell to soften the truth that nothing will move forward unless we do. Limits exist only in the mind. They are not walls. They are challenges, tests of your resilience, whispers daring you to quit. But what separates the average from the unstoppable is simple, relentless action. The grind doesn't care about motivation. It doesn't care if you feel ready or strong enough. It only responds to consistency, to discipline, to the refusal to quit, even when your body screams no and your mind questions why. Every second you waste explaining, rationalizing, or justifying is a second stolen from your potential. The truth is uncomfortable, but necessary. Greatness is forged in discomfort. In those moments when giving up seems easiest, your future self is screaming for you to push harder, to dig deeper, to keep grinding. Excuses are a choice. Limits are illusions. Grind is a mandate. And right now, it's your time to choose what you will become. Excuses are the easiest escape, the story we tell ourselves to justify. Why we didn't push harder. Why we didn't show up when it mattered. Men feel this tension differently. There is an unspoken expectation to be strong, capable, and unshakable. Every excuse chips away at credibility, at influence, at the quiet authority that comes from delivering results when everyone else hesitates. Women see it too. They notice who stands firm, who takes responsibility, and who leads by action rather than words. Excuses are a signal of weakness, and in both personal and professional arenas, weakness is quickly magnified. Taking responsibility is not a momentary choice, it is a habit. The human mind is wired to rationalize, to seek comfort, to avoid discomfort. But when a man faces that inner voice saying, "Not today," what separates progress from stagnation is the decision to act despite it. Women, observing this, intuitively recognize the difference between intent and execution. A man who refuses excuses inspires trust, loyalty, and admiration, not because of what he says, but because of what he accomplishes. The truth is brutal. Results demand sacrifice, clarity, and relentless commitment. Excuses are optional, a trap of the mind, but results are unavoidable. They define reputation, shape influence, and cement legacy. Limits are often the stories we tell ourselves, invisible walls drawn in the mind, convincing us that certain achievements are out of reach. Men experience these boundaries as internal battles, wrestling with the fear of failure and the pressure to prove strength. Society tells men what they can and cannot do, but the truth is that these barriers exist only if we accept them. Action, however, ignores imagination. It is the force that turns possibility into reality. Every step taken, no matter how small, chips away at the illusion of limitation. Women perceive this differently, but just as clearly. They notice who acts when fear whispers to retreat, who shows up consistently despite self-doubt. The distinction between a man who talks about potential and a man who delivers lies in action, in the willingness to confront discomfort head-on. Limits dissolve when effort becomes relentless, when hesitation is replaced by movement. The mind is powerful, but untested power remains only a thought. Real strength emerges in execution, in the persistent refusal to let imagined barriers dictate behavior. Every action taken expands what was previously considered impossible, reshaping perception, influencing others, and redefining what it means to be truly unstoppable. The grind never pauses. It moves forward, whether you are ready or not, indifferent to excuses, indifferent to comfort. Men feel this as an unspoken challenge, a test of endurance and mental toughness. There is an internal pressure to keep pace, to push boundaries, to prove that you are capable of more than yesterday. The world does not reward intention. It rewards execution, and every day that passes without action is a day the competition seizes. Women recognize this drive in ways that are both subtle and profound. They see who rises early, who stays late, who continues long after the easy choices have been exhausted. The grind exposes character. It separates those who rely on luck from those who rely on discipline. It is not about working endlessly for the sake of work. It is about refusing to accept stagnation, about understanding that momentum is built one deliberate action at a time. Rest is necessary, but complacency is not. The human psyche is wired to seek comfort, yet greatness requires constant engagement, consistent effort, and the willingness to act when others hesitate. Those who embrace the grind understand that progress is relentless and their commitment must be equally unwavering. Comfort is a trap disguised as safety, a quiet voice that convinces us to settle, to pause, to accept mediocrity. Men experience this tension deeply. Society celebrates stability, routine, and predictability, yet real growth demands risk, discomfort, and challenge. Every time a man chooses ease over effort, he reinforces the boundaries of what he believes is possible, limiting influence, ambition, and impact. The mind seeks refuge, but the body and spirit are designed to thrive under pressure. Women observe this instinct in ways that are both conscious and intuitive. They notice who embraces challenge, who pushes past convenience to pursue mastery, who refuses to let comfort dictate behavior. Progress is visible in persistence, in the courage to take imperfect steps, in the willingness to face uncertainty rather than retreat into familiarity. Comfort slows momentum, while discomfort accelerates transformation, exposing strength, resilience, and the true measure of character. Breaking free from comfort is not a single act, it is a series of deliberate choices, a refusal to let fear or convenience dictate outcomes. Every step into discomfort reshapes perception, challenges limitations, and signals to others that progress is not negotiable. It is a mandate for those who refuse to settle. Motivation is fleeting. It arrives like a visitor and departs just as quickly, leaving gaps that ambition alone cannot fill. Men often wait for it, believing that a surge of inspiration will carry them through the hardest moments. But true achievement does not come from moments of passion. It comes from showing up day after day, even when the spark has faded, even when the body is tired and the mind questions why. Consistency is the engine that converts effort into results, the quiet force that builds credibility, influence, and strength over time. Women notice the difference immediately. They see who relies on motivation and who relies on discipline. Intentions are invisible, actions are undeniable. Consistency signals reliability, resilience, and the ability to deliver under pressure. It reveals character, showing that a person does not depend on mood, luck, or external validation to perform. Every small, repeated act compound, producing results far beyond what a single burst of motivation could achieve. For men, the struggle is psychological. The mind wants shortcuts. The ego wants instant recognition, and excuses present themselves like lifelines. But the principle is simple. Discipline trumps desire. Habit trumps inspiration. Women recognize this in partnerships, leadership, and collaboration. They respect the man who can endure, who can persist, and who can maintain momentum when the excitement fades. Consistency transforms potential into mastery, proving that real progress is earned, sustained, and unstoppable. Your future self is already watching. Every choice you make today echoes into the person you will become tomorrow. Men often underestimate this silent observer, distracted by short-term comfort or fleeting victories, forgetting that legacy is built in the unseen moments, in the decisions that feel small but compound relentlessly. The challenge is psychological. The mind wants immediate satisfaction. The ego craves recognition now, and the temptation to postpone discipline is constant. Yet the future does not negotiate. It rewards preparation, courage, and relentless action. Women perceive this awareness in subtle ways. They notice who invests in long-term growth, who sacrifices temporary ease for enduring results, who prioritizes integrity over convenience. The anticipation of who you are becoming is more powerful than any motivation derived from others' approval. The man who chooses the hard path, who commits to the grind, who embraces discomfort, sends a signal that his life is intentional. These choices, repeated daily, shape perception, influence relationships, and create a foundation that no circumstance can dismantle. The mind will argue that time is abundant, that tomorrow can carry the burden of today. Men know the struggle, the tension between what feels urgent and what truly matters. But the future self does not wait patiently forever. It requires accountability, courage, and persistence in the present. Women, watching closely, understand the weight of this commitment. They admire not the words, but the consistency of action. Every task completed, every challenge faced, every fear overcome today becomes a promise fulfilled to the person you will one day look back on with pride. This awareness reframes sacrifice, discipline, and effort not as burdens, but as investments, creating momentum that transforms potential into mastery, fear into confidence, and vision into reality.